Hey guys, Sarak here, and today I've got another deck profile for you. This isn't part of my Yu-Gi-Oh! On a Budget series, this is just a general deck profile showcasing just one of the decks that I've been trying out recently. So the deck I've got for you today is Zoodiac-Tribrigade, and I think it's a really fun deck. I'm aware that Pure Zoo is considered to be the better version of the deck, but I think it's just more fun to play with the Tribrigade cards. Because you can make so many different plays and lots of different lines, whereas Zoo does sometimes just feel like you're making Dryden, setting a couple of cards, and sitting back on hand traps. So, let's get into the deck profile. We have 3 copies of Zoodiac-Tribrigade. Now, Zoodiac-Tribrigade allows you to discard Zoodiac cards to draw cards if it's normal or special summon, so it's really good with Barrage because it lets you get lots of extra card advantage by getting it from the deck. And also, it's your 1600 attack monster, so with Whiptail it boosts your Zoodiac cards up to 2800 attack, and it gives your Zoodiac monsters piercing. Then we have 3 copies of Zoodiac Whiptail, and Whiptail allows you to attach it to your monster during an opponent's turn, which is really, really good because it can buff up your attack and also allows you to banish their monsters after damage calculation. So it's almost like an in-archetypal Honest, and again, it gives you 1200 attack, so that's also really, really good. Then we have 2 copies of Zoodiac Ram. So Ram allows you to special summon Zoodiac monsters from the graveyard, which is really, really good because with Barrage, it allows you to bring back your Xyz monsters and also opens up lots of the Megaclops lines for this deck, and some decks just can't out a copy of Megaclops. And it also provides some trap targeting negation as well. And finally, for the Zoodiac engine, we have 1 copy of Rapier. Unfortunately, it's still at 1, so we can't use the second effect to special summon Rapiers from the deck, but it's still very, very good because it allows us to Foolish Burial a Zoodiac card to bring back or attach later with other effects. It also allows us to fill our grave for our Tribrigade effects. So we get onto the Tribrigade engine now. We have 3 copies of Tribrigade Fractal. Now, this card is your main combo starter because you can discard it, send any level 3 or lower Beast or Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your graveyard. So you're essentially sending any of your other Tribrigade cards from the deck to the graveyard, and then you can banish it and any number of Beast, Winged Beast or Beast Warrior cards from your graveyard and special summon 1 Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast linked monster. And then it would lock you into using Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, which is fine because your entire deck revolves around those types. All the Tribrigades have that same effect. We have 2 copies of Tribrigade Nerval, which, when it's sent to the graveyard, allows you to search a Tribrigade monster. And again, has the banishing effect. And then finally, we have 1 copy of Tribrigade Karas. Now, this is the card that you're putting on the field to activate the banishing effects of your Tribrigades, because it's got that effect, but it can also special summon itself by discarding any Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster. So it's a free extender for link plays, and also helps put your Nerval into the graveyard, allowing you to get an extra dump into the graveyard. It helps unclog your hand that way by special summoning itself, and it's the way you get a Tribrigade body on the field to use the banishing effect. We get onto the hand traps. We have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. It's a really, really good hand trap. Stops searching and special summoning from the deck. 3 copies of Effect Veiler. You know what Effect Veiler does. And 3 copies of Droll. Now, this deck doesn't do a huge amount of just raw searching, except through Tenki, so which you're only ever using on your turn anyway. So this deck can play draw very, very freely. And then finally, we have one copy of Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. Now, Barrier Statue is one of your targets for Tribrigade Airborne Assault, allows you to lock your opponent out of special summoning. You also play the Simorg link in this deck, which can obviously bring out this card going first and establish a very early lock on the board. Three copies of Tenki. I've got two German secret ones here, and then unfortunately one lonely English common. It's the best Beast Warrior Searcher in the game. Just be aware that obviously if it gets Cosmic Cycloned or Twin Twisted whilst its effect is on chain, you won't get the search. Other than that, really, really good card. We have three copies of Tribrigade Airborne Assault. This is one of your main extender cards in the deck. It can special summon any beast, beast warrior, or winged beast with a different attribute to one you control. All the Tribrigades have different attributes, and obviously all of the Zoodiac cards are Earth, so as long as you have either a Zoo and some Tribrigades left in your deck, you can still activate this, and also Barrier Statue is another target. It will lock you into Link summoning for the rest of the turn, so make sure you've done your Zoodiac plays first, but it will only negate the effect until the end of the turn, so you can bring out a copy of Barrier Statue with this in your main phase too, or once you've done all your plays if you're going first, and then pass the turn, and the Barrier Statue will get its effect back and lock your opponent from special summoning. It also allows you to trigger your Tribrigade Link effects on your opponent's turn, if that's what you need to do. One copy of Zoodiac Barrage. This is one card starter. Free material for any of your Zoodiac monsters, and works really, really well with a copy of Thoroughblade or Ram. Three copies of Pot of Desires. I was toying between this and Pot of Avarice, but because the Tribrigades banish so much from the graveyard, I wanted a card that could just give you the raw draw power, and you weren't really constrained with your graveyard contents on activating it. Copy of Foolish Burial. Puts your Tribrigades in the graveyard to use their effects. One copy of Tribrigade Revolt allows you to recycle your Winged Beast Warriors and make a link on your opponent's turn. It's a really, really good comeback card, and of course can help make your Tribrigade monsters effects during your opponent's turn as well. And then finally we have three copies of Infinite Impermanence because it's the best trap card in the game. So that's the main deck, and now we'll get onto the extra deck. The extra deck space is very, very tight, which is one of the disadvantages of running this Tribrigade engine over the Pure Zoo engine, because you have so much more space in Pure Zoo. So we have one copy of Zoodiac Trident. It's at 1 at the moment. It's a quick effect pop that's obviously one of your main forms of interaction in the deck. If it was at more, you'd run more of this card. Two copies of Zoodiac Chakanine. This used to be annoyingly expensive, but now with the reprinted Maximum Gold, it's a lot cheaper. In Pure, you'd probably run 3 copies of this card, but because of the space issues, we're just running 2. It allows you to bring back any Zoodiac monster with its effect negated until the end of the turn, but it can't be used as material for an Xyz summon, so it's one of the main ways you have of making your Megaclops lines, and of course it doesn't lock you out of Link monsters. Oh no, it can't be used, can't be used as an Xyz material for a summon. Okay. 2 Zoodiac Tiger Mortar. This allows you to put extra materials back on your Xyz monsters so you can use their effects again. and again just allows you to continually recycle your cards from your graveyard. One copy of Zoodiac Borbo. This is pretty much just there as an extra name. And then one copy of Zoodiac Hammerkong. What this allows you to do is, if you special summon it with Checker 9, and then you attach a material to it with Tiger Mortar, because it's got its effect negated, it won't detach during the end phase, so you can just use it to protect all of your Zoo cards from targeting effects. And then finally, one copy of the big bad boy from the new set, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. It's a quick effect, send to graveyard board nuke that's not once per turn. It's really, really strong. And it's so easy to make in this deck. And it's just a really, really nice looking card. So now we get onto the Tribrigade portion of the deck. We have one copy of Tribrigade Shureg, the Ominous Omen. This allows us to non-targeting banish one card on the field if it's special summoned, or if another beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster is special summoned to the field. So with cards like your Airborne Assault, with the Trap card, and so on, you have lots and lots of ways of special summoning monsters during your opponent's turn as an interaction, as a form of interaction with them. And if it is sent to the graveyard, then you can search for any winged beast, beast, or beast warrior from your deck whose level is less than or equal to the number of banished monsters of those three types, which you probably have a good number of them, so it allows you to, it has a float on being sent to the graveyard. And that's not strict to Tribrigade monsters, it will work for your Zoodiac monsters as well. We have one copy of Tribrigade Rugal, the Silver Sheller. This allows you to, as a quick effect, special summon monsters from your graveyard, but negate their effects, and obviously return it to the hand during the end phase. This is one other way you have of triggering your Shureg's effect, because it can special summon as a quick effect if you have both on the field. And then also, if it's sent to the graveyard, it has a little bit of an attack reduction for your opponent's monsters, which doesn't come up all that often, but is very nice when it does come up. Two copies of Tribrigade Ferrigit, the Barren Blossom. This allows you to get extra extenders from your hand, which is really, really, really useful. Again, really helps getting your Zoodiac monsters out of your hand if you need to, or just unclogging your hand, allowing you to go into a Link 3. Again, it only doesn't lock you out of anything relevant in this deck, bar the Megaclops line. But again, it's the rest of this turn, so if you have drawn the Nut Draw and you can make a Megaclops and this, then you can still go off with this effect after you've made the Megaclops. We have one copy of Ancient Warriors Double Dragon Lords. This doesn't need the Wind Ancient Warriors monster because the Tribrigade effects ignore link material requirements, which is very, very useful. And if it's and as a quick effect, you can discard any card or send one card from the hand to the field to the graveyard, then target one face-up monster and bounce it. Very, very good form of interaction in the deck, and very, very easy to make in the deck. One copy of Simorg, again, doesn't need the link requirements when you're summoning it with the Tribrigade effects. If you're going first, this allows you to make a barrier statue lock at the end of the turn, which is really, really strong, and if it points to it, it can't be targeted by card effects, so it makes it much harder to remove. And because your opponent will have 4 empty spell and trap zones on turn 1, you will be able to summon the barrier statue from the deck. And then finally, one copy of Megaclops, because some decks just insta-lose to Megaclops and can't out it. And Zoodiac is one of the few decks that can make this card. So that's the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, I'm aware that it's not as strong, ideally, as Pure Zoo, but I think it's a really, really fun deck with lots of different lines of play that you can make. It can go first, it can go second, you could tailor it with your side deck to allow for either of those options. It's not a cheap deck due to needing lots of hand traps and some expensive extra deck cards, but I really, really like the deck. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I will be getting back to more budget decks over the coming days. Thanks for watching.